This is Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is, the show that pitches TV's best-loved antiques experts against each other in an all-out battle for profit. And gives you the insider's view of the trade.
Who's there?
Each week, one pair of dueling dealers will face a different daily challenge.
The original cheeky chappy.
Lovely.
Putting their reputations on the line.
Full house.
Oh, I say.
And giving you their top tips and savvy secrets on how to make the most money from buying and selling.
I'm feeling rather lucky.
Coming up, James Braxton is a man with a restoration plan.
I might turn that from an ordinary item into a luxury good.
James Lewis comes a cropper.
Nothing has gone right today.
And Bingo hopes you'll learn from his mistakes.
There is a moral to this tale. I paid slightly more than that, and sometimes you can get carried away at auction.
Oh dear!
This is Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is. Yes, welcome antiquarians and sports fans to yet another nail-biting chapter in the book of TV challenges, where today two of Britain's best-loved auctioneers go head-to-head in a real battle of the big boys. And when I say big, I mean big. Starting with our first contender, a man with over 20 years of auction house experience under his belt. When it comes to collectibles, he knows his onions. It's the mighty James the Lionheart Lewis.
He's going to be in big trouble.
So who dares to take on the Lionheart? Well, what ho? It's a bit of posh.
Very nicely played.
Yes, he's bought and sold more antiques than most of us have had hot dinners. There's probably nothing he doesn't know about furniture and fine art. It's the Southeast's auction actioneer, James Bingo Braxton.
The plan has come to fruition.
And today, our auctioneer experts are on home soil as it's the auction challenge. Both boys are packing £1,000 of their own hard-earned cash and have rocked up at the T.W. Gaze auction rooms in Diss in Norfolk. There are 4 auctions going on simultaneously here: an outside salvage sale, house clearance, furniture and an antique sale room. So our two dealers will have to plan and prepare and race here and there if they're to cover it all and not miss their lots. And as any profits they make go to their chosen charities, they're both keen to win. So, James Lewis and James Braxton, it's time to put your money where your mouth is.
Mr. Braxton!
Lewis, how are you?
Very well, very well.
Yeah. Big money day, isn't it, today?
£1,000, but we've got a challenge. 4 sale rooms all going on at the same time.
They are, aren't they?
Richard the Lionheart granted chartered market status to Diss way back, and of course my nickname is
Lionheart.
So there we go. A little friend for you. Hello, James. Hello.
There we are.
I just thought you might need a little friend to give you a bit of luck.
Well, that's very kind of you, James, isn't it? Well,
Don't do anything nasty to him, will you?
No, wait.
Good luck. Have fun. And the challenge is, James, you've got to spend all of your money.
I will.
Ah, how sweet. James Lewis is giving his competitor a lucky talisman. Get out of it. Trying to wind Bingo up more like. The Lionheart has cleverly studied his opponent to pinpoint how he might get an advantage over him.
James and I are both auctioneers, but James started at the top. I started with car boot sales and jumble sales. So for me, this might be a little bit easier than it will be for him.
Actually, with so much ground to cover, this will be easy for no one. Bidding is due to start shortly, and so both Jameses must maximise their time to mark up any interesting lots. James Lewis may be in his comfort zone in the outside salvage sale, but not far away in the furniture section, Bingo too has come up with a cunning plan.
There's some interesting items outside. There's a couple of items that I can add value to. I'm going to transform ordinary items into luxury goods.
There you go. When faced with tatty goods, Bingo's plan is restoration or transformation. although he might have to shed a bit of perspiration as this auction site is enormous. So it's going to be a case of careful planning and swift bidding. But his rival, James Lewis, is also starting his search in amongst the brown furniture, and he's spotted an oak coffer he likes the look of.
There isn't a lot of furniture here today, I have to say, but this old thing, George III, around 1760. It's had a couple of new brackets put underneath, but it is solid oak, and it's a great piece of practical country furniture.
So the old oak chest goes onto James Lewis's wish list, and while he continues his hunt for something of value, across the way, James number 2 is hatching a plan to combine some pre-decimal coins he's spotted with a table. Intriguing.
There's a rather nice little box of coins. I know of a bar which is covered in copper coins, and I think I will buy these coins and I will anoint them on various tables. I've seen 1 or 2 tables that I think I can add value to. I think I might turn that from an ordinary item into a luxury good.
Yes, a luxury good indeed. If you like a copper coiny tabletop, that is. Now, while James Lewis is methodically working his way around the 4 auctions looking at all the items on offer, Bingo is busy trying to blend in.
There's a bit of stealth involved with auctions. So here I am in camouflage. I'm still wearing autumn colours, which is the perfect backdrop for brown furniture and Persian rugs.
Yes, in his clever camouflage suit, Bingo Braxton, as we can see here, is nigh on invisible, roaming freely through the auction house, unfettered, hidden from prying eyes. Careful! Now, while Bingo's creeping around the house clearance area, James Lewis is back outside in the stalls, where he's uncovered a hidden treasure.
This at first glance appears to be just a pile of wood, but when it's formed, this section is the canopy for a wonderful bed, made around 1850, 1860. What's it worth? Well, in this condition, probably not a lot, but I do know somebody who has a bed shop that has been looking for a prop to put in her window. That might actually do it.
So James, thinking ahead, targeting a buyer, and a second item goes on his list. Inside, Bingo has spotted a potential money spinner.
It's a card table, and they're called envelope card tables. They look sort of like a corner of an envelope, and then you open it like that, and then you turn it all the way around so these folds are supported. What they've used with the marquetry, they've cut out all this little detail, and they've used a contrasting wood. So they put boxwood in there, and some naughty person has left a water stain there. But what I really liked about it was the estimate, 80 to 120 pounds. Now I think that's cheap, and if I got it for that much money, I'm sure I could sell this for 250, 350, maybe even 500 pounds.
Yes, Bingo wants to play his cards right and is determined to get his hands on that table. But with the clock counting down to the start of bidding, the Lionheart is feeling anxious.
I'm concerned. I'm very concerned. There are thousands of objects here, and hardly any that I've even considered buying. But on the handful of things that I've looked at, if I miss half of them, I'm not going to have enough items.
Oh dear, poor old James. So the browsing is over, which means it's time to buckle down and hold tight. It's time to separate the men from the boys, the purchasers from the peepers, the buyers from the bystanders, as the auction gets underway. Both our boys only managed to pick out a few pieces each, so they're not going to want to lose out on them. But the auctioneers are already going at a cracking pace. And one of the first items under the hammer is James's oak coffer.
Good piece of oak here, straight inch, 100 bid at 100, take 10 you like. Oak coffer at 100 pounds at 100, 110 the way, far away at 110, out back, take 20, 120 the lady. 130's bid at 130, at 130, it's selling far away at 130. 130.
And he gets it. With commission, James pays just over £153. But watch out, matey, because your rival has come to check up on you, and he appears to be using Jedi mind tricks to encourage you to bid on an item blind.
Tenner, quick.
What's
Go for
What
a
is
block.
it?
Don't worry.
I don't even know what it is. What is it?
Oh dear, that is desperate. James has just bid on an object on the advice of his opponent, and neither know what it is. As it turns out, it's a marble tabletop that James Lewis buys for £11.80, including fees. So is he happy with his purchase?
Do you know, I'm really pleased with this. It's solid Carrara marble. It probably dates to 1850, 1860 with these lovely curved lines. But it's not a standard washstand top. It's got a draining ridge around here and a hole in the centre. So I think it's actually for making something on. That should be 50 quid, I'd have thought.
Well, that unexpected buy seems to have cheered James up a bit. At last, across the way, Bingo has found a target for his first bid.
A sort of tall there, it's painted, sort of cold painted, and it's a flower bin. This one probably dates from about 1905, 1910. Most people these days buy flour in little bags. Up here in Norfolk, they buy it in buckets. If I can buy it under 40, I can make a good profit on it.
Well, he would make a good profit, but James Lewis is getting his revenge and is standing right next to him, sticking his nose in and bidding on the flour bin to pump up the price.
45 new bidder.
45,
Take
48.
48 we have.
He won't,
50 the nod.
The Lionheart needs to know when to stop, otherwise he'll end up actually buying it.
Out of
55, I'll do.
55 is bid. No. Bid. No, 55 pounds. It's 55 pounds here and selling at 55.
Still cheap, thank you, sir. God, you rang me up there.
Draw there for tenner. Who's
You
in?
can fall out with people, I find.
Well, if you will go winding up the opposition, Bingo buys the flour bin for just shy of £65. Now, remember his plan to create a copper coin tabletop? Well, he's found a different table that he thinks would work and he's hoping to get it cheap.
At a 22 bid, take 5 anywhere at £22, selling at 22.
A shade under £26 and Mr. Braxton has the first part of his copper coin project, but he's not letting his rival in on the secret.
I wonder if he's going to put a chessboard on it or something like that. Interesting.
Yes, we know something you don't know. Now, James Lewis is an auctioneer of some standing, known for his good taste and expertise in high-end furniture, which makes you wonder why he's suddenly developed an interest in a bag of dirty old sweeps rods.
3 is bid, take 4 again on 3 the bid at 3. Any advance, play the bid at 3.
So, James buys a collection of chimney sweep equipment for £3.54, which Bingo seems to find most amusing.
I think he's bought some drain rods or something, which are wholly appropriate for an antique programme.
Shut up, yes.
Yeah, so why has he bought those dirty brushes?
I know James took the mickey out of this, but it's bamboo, brass mounted. You certainly wouldn't get that in a modern chimney sweep brush. I should think this is 1890 to 1910. Classic Victorian thing.
Well, if you say so, James. He's purchasing a right old hodgepodge of knickknacks today, including a brass tray which he, when sees up close, isn't so enamoured with.
3 is the bid, take 4 again.
But it only cost £4.72, and at least he's buying, whereas James Braxton seems to be holding back on his cash. In fact, as it's the end of stage 1, let's find out how big a gap is opening up between them. Both our boys started the day with £1,000 of their own money. Lionheart Lewis has so far forked out on 4 items and spent £173.46, giving him £826.54 to spend. James Braxton, on the other hand, has so far only bought 2 items, parting with a mere £90.86, leaving him with over £900 still in his pocket, and an awful lot to do as we return to the auction. James Lewis is in the stalls at the furniture sale and is hoping to win the bed he had his eye on earlier. However, there's strong competition, so it's on with a sad face.
260, 280, 300. It's £300.
James out at 300.
20 anywhere at £300 bid, at 300, at 300.
Oh, but he's back in at 310.
320, 330.
Oh, this is nail-biting stuff.
360, 370, 380.
No, he's out again at 380.
Anywhere at 380. 380 selling all the while at 380.
Hang on though, he's back in at 390.
Going 26.
No, he's out again.
At £400, selling all the while at 400.
So poor James fails to get the bed.
I'm left to spend all the rest of my money on bits and bobs, and that leaves me feeling very depressed.
Yes, that would have used up a nice chunk of James's budget, and so it's a sad old Lionheart who comes inside. where an ever-chipper Bingo is there to rub salt in his wounds.
Cheer up, James. Don't be grumpy.
Ah, will that put a smile on his face?
What a tough day.
No. Well, let's leave him on his own then, because the card table that Bingo Braxton had his eye on is next under the hammer.
Edwardian inlaid road with envelope card table, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160. 170 I have, selling for £170.
So success for Bingo and a Victorian rosewood card table for a shade over £200 with commission.
Tucking into my budget here. Prudence now. Thrift and prudence.
Yes, well, you might be being prudent, but James Lewis is having to bid on items that he hasn't even inspected. A Regency tea caddy has caught his eye, but he doesn't want to be spotted bidding and attract any unwanted competition. So he employs a smart tactic to bid secretly.
45, 45, 48, 50, 5, 60, 5, 70, 5, 80, 80. Is there 5? We said £80.
So James wins the caddy for £94.40, including commission, and finds there's more to it than meets the eye.
A Regency caddy in rosewood, and it has these lovely original loose ring lion mask handles on the sides. Lion paw feet, and inside its original covers. But inside this one, little cut steel evening bag. I should think that dates to 1800, 1820. I'm hoping I'll get £20 for that. And that will certainly take the pressure off trying to make a big profit out of the caddy.
So it sounds like James's blind bidding may pay off this time. And high on his success, the Lionheart goes straight on to another item, a set of ivory page turners.
This was made around 1850 and as such doesn't conflict with the ivory laws and worth 40 to 60, 50 to 80 pounds.
So that one alone should see James a profit. On the other side of the auction room, Bingo is gearing up to bid on the coins he wants to use to decorate the table that he bought earlier.
It was time at 10.
5?
5 bits there, 5 I have. £5 is going to make a doorstop. What a bargain.
Thank you.
Yes, he gets the coins for £5.90, including commission. He already has the table, so all he needs to do now is stick them all together and then find someone who loves coins on a table. And as the auction continues at full steam, the running stays with Bingo as he finds himself a perch way up in the gallery.
We can keep an eye on old Lionheart down there now, can't we?
And a framed etching that's caught his eye comes under the hammer.
W. Wiley, the etching, marine
that's me.
subject. Then I start here at just £95. £95 bid. 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, the gallery at 140, where's 50? 150, 160. Do any advance?
Well, Bingo might have a bird's eye view of the room, but he should be looking at his catalogue a bit more closely, as he's made a classic auction room mistake.
Do you know, it's that funny. I thought I was buying a pair of etchings.
Oh, Bingo, and there was you trying to be prudent. With auction fees, that one etching has cost him a hefty £188.80, and it's a purchase his rival is none too impressed with.
Can't believe he bought those. Wow. They're nowhere near as fashionable as they once were. Oh, Bingo's way out of fashion.
I ended up paying £160 for one, when I rather hoped I was paying £160 for two. It's a lovely etching. We've got a very, very nice landscape image here by Wiley, famous marine artist. The nice thing is he signed it in pencil, which is the normal etiquette, so it's an artist proof. His original works would have been taken up by galleries and wealthy private collectors. His etchings were for more public consumption.
So Bingo has the win knocked out of his sales and a few notes knocked out of his wallet. But back on the floor, there's a sudden flurry of activity from his rival. He buys a glass rolling pin for £23.60, an oil painting for £106.20, and a cuddly toy. Sorry, no, not a cuddly toy. 3 leather cases for £76.70.
I'm not interested in that one. Not particularly interested in that one either. This one is where the potential money is. 19th century shotgun cartridge case, divided into 3 sections inside. Hopefully there's a profit there.
James Lewis sounding less than sure about those cases. Now, as the auction starts to wind up for the day, an air of desperation begins to fall on our boys, who both still have plenty of money yet to spend. This is where expensive mistakes could happen. Bingo starts the ball rolling by splashing out £53.10 on a silver tankard. Then, James Lewis adds to his impressive collection the Rolls Royce of posters, or rather, a poster of Rolls Royces for £21.24.
Date, I suppose it's 1970s, because here we have 1970 and then we have the new look, so it is about 40 odd years old. To the right person, there's a good profit there.
Up in the rafters, James Braxton has his eye on a World War I compass. But he's got competition. Surely an experienced auctioneer like him is not going to throw caution to the wind and get caught in a bidding war, is he? It's estimated at £20 to £30.
The leather case brass compass, 110, 120, 130.
Quickly rockets in price.
150, 160, 170.
That's a long way over the estimate.
190, 210. Any advance on 210?
That's £247.80 including fees, way above the estimate and a big gamble by Bingo Braxton. So why did he want it so badly?
It's a compass, nicely cased, leather case. It's got the initials of the owner, and then you open it up, take the said compass out. It's got a folding gnomon sighting mechanism in a Japan brass. I think the value's in the owner rather than the item.
So Bingo will have to do a little research there, but with that purchase he decides he's all bought up. Mr. Lewis, however, is still out there bidding, this time on an old leather chair.
£20. Well, that was cheap. £20 for a tan leather armchair. I reckon that retail must be £400 or £500. So there should be a handsome profit there.
Yes, James takes the chair for £23.60 with fees so he can nip off and have a sit down, as that was the final item of the day. Time to take stock and see who spent what. Both our boys started the day with £1,000 of their own money. James Lewis ended up buying 11 items and splashing out a total of £540.44. James Braxton bought 7 items which cost him a total of £787.06, meaning he bought less but spent more. And when it comes to comparing buys, Bingo looks distinctly underwhelmed by his opponent's haul.
And look at this, what are you playing at? What is your special bit?
Still in the auction room, I think.
What's going on with that marble?
Do you know, I'm pleased with that.
It's quite a superstructure, that, isn't it?
How about yours?
Class. I like my compass. I think I'm going to go on a journey with that. And I like my envelope card table.
What did that cost?
I think it was £170 plus all the bits. They've been very kind to us in Norfolk.
They have, it's been fun.
It's been great fun. Good luck.
And you.
So it's bye-bye to the buying and the bidding and hello to high-octane selling. Now James and James need to sell all of their auction items for as much money as they can manage, hoping to make the biggest profit and walk away victorious. With the banging gavel a distant memory, the two Jameses return home to evaluate their items. Back in his lair, how's Mr. Lewis feeling?
My best thing, in terms of profit, I think, is the leather armchair. The brass tray on the top, somewhat of a disappointment. I know a couple of Iranians that collect Persian stuff like that, but it's turned out to be Arabic. The cases, I spent too much money. I think there's a loss there. The big oak coffer. My head tells me there should be the biggest profit out of anything there, but my heart tells me this sort of furniture's out of fashion. The tea caddy, a classic antique. I couldn't resist it. Lovely thing from the 1830s, but is there a profit in it? I don't know.
James also has to use his head to sell the oil painting, the Bristol blue glass rolling pin, the paper knives, the marble tabletop, and the chimney sweeps. But what about Mr. Braxton? How's he feeling about his haul now he's looking at it in the clear light of day?
I bought this table, which I think is lovely anyway. It's made of oak. So what I want to do
is inset the coins and then polish them up, and hopefully the pub won't be able to resist them. I've got this lovely envelope card table, Edwardian, rosewood, inlaid. It's got so much going on. The flour bin, I've got to find a baker, a pizza maker, something, anything to do with flour. My Wiley, I thought I was buying a pair. It turned out I was merely only buying one of the two. I'm going to have to work hard to sort of get a profit. Then I've got a nice little christening cup, sweet little fellow, silver. Should be able to make a small profit on that. I have my compass. Probably late 19th century. It's made by Elliott Brothers of the Strand, London. So hopefully this will steer me to great profits and to take the auction leg.
So it's down to both our dealers to do a far better thing than they've ever done as they get down to the hard work required to turn a purchase into a profit. Remember, no deal is sealed until they've shaken on it and the cash is in their hands. And the first of our swashbuckling experts to swing into action is James Lewis as he descends on Chesterfield with his tea caddy, which cost him £94.40.
This is the headquarters of the Northern Tea Merchants. And what better place to sell a tea caddy?
But will he be able to stir up a perfect profit from James, a tea merchant?
It's Regency, known as the sarcophagus shape. And on the end there, you've got this lion mask handle with a loose ring.
Yeah.
The sort of thing you would see on the end of a sword guard.
Yes.
On the hilt of a sword. So,
yes.
And lion paw feet. Before I go down the line of sales, I need to point out a couple of things. There's a bit of stringing missing there.
Noticed.
And there's a bit of stringing missing down the front left corner there. But it's a simple bit of boxwood, which is very cheap to do.
Yeah, I know. To be honest with you, I prefer the patina of age. What I quite like about this, though, is that it's actually something, it's touchable and it's usable.
Yeah.
This, isn't it?
I think if it was in a local antique shop around here, I think it would be £295.
I do.
And I think that's about £20 to have that done. So £295, £20.
£275.
£275.
£250.
I'm not going to try and beat you. That's a very kind offer. That shows me a great profit.
James gets a good price for the tea caddy, and don't forget he also found a purse inside which he sold to a contact who was looking for a present for his wife for £23, meaning that all in all he makes a profit of £178.60. James Lewis has drawn first blood, but Bingo is hot on his heels. He's in Gosport in Hampshire where he's hoping to sell his Wiley painting to Richard, a specialist in the artist.
Richard, here is this Wiley I've brought to you. Can you tell me a bit about it?
It's an etching executed in about 1900 to 1910-ish. It depicts Norwegian timber vessels at the mouth of the Thames. And Wiley, of course, lived very close to this scene. He's probably the most popular marine artist of the late 19th and early 20th centuries. The values of Wiley etchings are really determined by the subject matter. A nice impression, well executed, nothing wrong with it, but not terribly interesting.
No. Okay, we'll stop you there. What would you offer me for this?
£200.
Could you go to 250?
220, I think.
220?
Yes.
I'll take 220.
Yeah, is that okay?
That's very kind. Thank you very much indeed, Richard.
Thank you.
So it may have only been one picture, but Wiley James Braxton still makes a fair profit of £31.20.
Richard's happy, I'm happy. Just over £30 profit. Happy days.
So both our experts are on good form, busy selling their wares. Having got off to a great start, James Lewis has also sold the blue glass rolling pin for a profit of £11.40 and the paper knives for a profit of £25.76 to a Tasmanian antiques dealer who ships British antiques back to Australia. Now, over in Yorkshire, the Lionheart has a plan for the Rolls-Royce poster he bought for £21.24.
I've come to the carding shed in Hepworth to see Ian and Nicola, who store and restore classic cars. Well, I'm hoping, as they have a Rolls-Royce in stock, that it might be the perfect place to sell this poster. It's a fantastic car, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Well, can you spot that car on there? What model of car is it?
This is a 2530.
There it is.
2530, it's 1938.
Is this something that you think you might like?
It is, because people like to come and browse and look. I'd be happy if if we could come round about the £45 mark.
Do you know what sounds a really nice even number?
I've got no idea what you're going to say, but carry on.
50. That's all. I wasn't going to go too much higher.
Well, I was thinking 50 as well.
Well, you've got a deal. You've got a deal.
problem.
Well done.
Thank
you very much. Does it actually work?
Of course it works.
Couldn't have a go, could I?
Well, as it's a chauffeur-driven vehicle, obviously you'd have to sit in the rear.
Do you know, it comes so naturally.
Well, I can see that, yeah.
And with the deal done, James hops in for a ride.
Do you know, I think at last I found my true position in life. Hey, Ian, and don't spare the horses. Come on, my man. Chop, chop.
James rolled out with a profit of £28.76 for the poster. Bingo Braxton is also rolling along. He's in Sussex, having found the perfect target to sell his flour bin to, in the form of B, a flour mill owner. James climbs up into the mill, where he hopes B will give him a profit on the £64.90 he paid for the bin.
This is the working part of the mill, is it, B?
Certainly is, yes.
So what happens here?
The grain is taken to the top of the mill and
Yeah.
stored in bins, and then it's gravity fed into the stones and the mill tons where it's ground, and then it comes to this floor where it is sifted and bagged up. The whole building is authentically restored, retaining the old timbers as much as possible.
Here's my flour bin. Now, if you're going to have flour,
Yes.
here's this tin fellow to keep all those naughty pests away.
Yes. But actually, I think that this is not the sort of bin that was used in the mill, but rather in the old bakery next door where they actually made the bread.
We're roughly in the area.
Oh, yes, we are. I mean, there's always had a bakery next door for
Yeah.
many years, which is now a house.
Well, it's a good showy sort of bit.
Oh, it's lovely.
And
It's about 1920 or so.
yeah, it looks about that. The style of writing does, doesn't
Yes.
it?
It's nice. It's a nice piece.
I'd be very happy with something like 70 or 80 pounds for
Oh
it.
dear. I'm not sure that it's worth as much as that. What about 40?
40, I'd be severely out of pocket, B. £60, B.
Oh, all right.
Go on, thank you, Aunt Shadid. Thank you. There is a moral to this tale.
Yes.
I paid slightly more than that, and sometimes you can get carried away at auction.
Oh dear.
Well, James Braxton sells the flour bin for less than he paid for it and ends up £4.90 down on the deal. But the wheels of this selling struggle keep on turning. So let's find out which of our dueling Jameses is storming ahead and who's running out of steam. James Lewis has sold 4 items plus the purse he found in the tea caddy and has made £244.52. Bingo, who had fewer items, has only sold 2 of his and is some way behind with a profit of £26.30. But in this crazy, hazy world of antiques, anything can happen. James Braxton is now shifting it up a gear as he takes his silver tankard to a Hungerford-based arcade specialising in silver. However, Bingo paid more than he would have liked at the auction, so will Adrian, an antiques dealer, help him squeeze out a profit?
Thank you.
Little tankard.
Yes. Not very heavy.
Not very heavy. What I can say in its favour is it's nice and clean, isn't it?
It is. It is not engraved. That's okay. Yeah. Nice hallmarks as well.
It's a miracle, really. You know, that's lasted almost 100 years.
Yes.
I'd be totally frank with you. I paid £53 and some pence on that.
So for me to make any money on it at all, I can't do much more than 30.
Well, I tell you what, you give me 35 and it's yours.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's call it 33. Nice round number.
33.10, and then I've only lost the round 20.
Well, James, I'm not going to argue over 10 pence.
That's a round but not so nice loss of £20 for James on the silver tankard, proving that if nothing else, Bingo knows when to cut his losses and run. His rival, on the other hand, can do no wrong. He sold the leather armchair for a profit of £56.40 and the brass embossed charger to a Dublin-based antiques dealer for a profit of £13.28. Now, James Lewis may not be as well bred as his rival, but he has a cunning plan to make a profit on the marble tabletop that cost him £11.80 by taking it to Margaret, a Yorkshire-based baker.
I didn't know actually what it was. I just thought it was the sort of thing that would fit in here. What do you think?
I think it's amazing. I think that will make a fantastic display. They may have used it in baking because it's so cold and that would be good for the products.
I thought it would be a perfect either bread stack or cake stack for you.
Yeah.
So, what do you think it's worth?
£30.
What?
No, come on.
You have to be joking.
There
You know what I thought you were going to say?
300.
Yeah,
no,
nearer.
you're wrong.
I'm going to start at 300 then.
Nowhere near.
Well, no, I don't want 300
You'd be
for
wanting
it.
an assistant if I paid 300. 70.
Oh, that was a big jump. I'll come right down to 180 then.
No, nowhere near 180. We'll go up to 90.
How about 100 quid?
We'll do 100 then.
You're happy with that?
I'm happy with 100.
You've got a deal.
Fantastic.
Brilliant.
Pleasure
Well
doing
done, you.
business with you.
Thank you very much. Great object, great shop, but it does look like I'm not the only one making loads of bread today.
Nice one, James. He makes £88.20 on the tabletop, and whilst he's on a selling roll, also manages to sell the suitcases. But, as he predicted, he makes a small loss of £11.70. Next, Bingo Braxton is in Berkshire, at an antique centre, where he hopes dealer Francis will want the rosewood card table that cost him just a shade over £200.
You're familiar with these envelope card tables,
I
aren't
am
you?
indeed.
So you just swivel it, and one thing flips up, and then you can take the others out, as you well know.
Absolutely.
And they're all ably supported, aren't they?
They are indeed.
So that ring mark, that's from a dear old pot plant.
I'm going to have that taken back.
Yeah.
And I'm probably going to have all these taken back
Yeah.
to match.
Well, I was originally hoping to get sort of somewhere in the region of 250, 350 for it.
Really?
Yeah. What would you offer me for it then?
220.
Could I squeeze you a bit? 230?
225.
225, you've got a deal, Francis.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bingo earns £24.40 on the table, a decent profit. But he's a man of many tables, so can he do even better with his coiny oak occasional one?
I bought at auction coins and a table. They owed me £32 in total. I put them all together. A lot of hard work's gone into this. Routed round the edge, stuck them all down, give it a good old polish. I'm hoping to make a big profit on it.
Having done all the work himself, James has brought the table to a pub in Berkshire to see landlord Tom, who's already got a pre-decimal coin theme in his bar.
Why I thought of you was, of course, your fabulous bar.
The famous penny bar, built on Valentine's Day, 1971, which
Really?
was the day before Decimalisation Day.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
So it was all to
So
do
it was
with...
it was legal and okay to deface all the old pennies.
The famous penny bar. Now, I want to add to that. Here it is.
Very nice.
So it's oak. Then I bought at the same auction these pennies. There's a couple of half pennies as well. I've tried to keep the Britannia side up with the dates on it, so that you've got a bit of interest there. You know, it's a unique item. It's a lovely item, and I think it would sit really well. And I was thinking somewhere in the region of 220, 300, something like that.
Let's start at 100.
I could do it special price, 150.
I won't argue with that.
Fabulous, thank you. Thank you very much indeed.
So that's a spectacular profit of £118.14 for the table and coins. But Bingo mustn't get complacent, as James Lewis has also been a busy boy, selling the oak coffer to a local dealer who coughed up enough to make a profit of £16.60. The Lionheart also sold the oil painting for a profit of £33.80, and now he's come up with a devilish plan for the chimney sweeps that he bought for £3.54.
I've come to my local pub in Moorwood Moor to sell my chimney sweep brushes, and I've found out a really interesting use for them. And no, it's not for sweeping chimneys.
After a little bit of research, cunning James has come up with a reason why publican Karen might want to buy the brushes as part of a new wedding service the pub offers. Chimney sweep brushes for a wedding? Cool, blimey, Mary Poppins, what's he playing at?
One set of sweep brushes. Now, had you ever heard of this story? George II, in his stagecoach, out of control through the streets of London, halfway down one street, a little chimney sweep jumps out, jumps on the horse, controls the horse, and brings the coach and four to a standstill. George II is so grateful that he announces by royal decree that chimney sweeps are from that point on a lucky omen. It's good luck to have a chimney sweep at your wedding. And I thought, wow, perfect. But for that, you need some chimney sweep brushes.
We do. Definitely.
So, where do you have the weddings? Is it in this room here, or?
No, it isn't. Would you like me to take you through to the function room?
Go on then, let's have a look. Right, okay.
I am interested, yeah.
Good. What do you think? How much do you want to give?
20.
Oh, 60.
40.
50 is a lovely round number.
45.
Oh, blimey. Go on then, you got a deal. Well done. So tell me, how much were you prepared to pay?
50.
Oh, I knew it. I knew it.
James cleans up with a profit of £41.46 for the sweeps, and he's also sold up. Bingo, however, has still got the leather-cased compass that cost him £247.80 to sell, and he's tracked down John, who owns a military shop.
I've come to Cheltenham to see the fellow behind me, and I'm rather hoping to sell him my compass. I've done a bit of work on this fellow. At auction, I hoped Mr. Flood might be a highly decorated army officer. I found very little about him, so that bodes rather badly. I'm hoping the chap behind me can tell me a little more.
So was Officer Flood a prestigious enough fellow to give Bingo the profit he needs?
When I bought it at auction, I thought, here is a man of substance, many initials, it's engraved on the inside, and I took the punt that he would be a rather illustrious, highly decorated Victorian soldier.
Yes, that's what James is hoping, but before we find out whether the profit on the compass was enough to steal this competition from under his rival's feet, let's see how much our experts have spent today. Both our boys started the day with £1,000 of their own money. James Lewis ended up buying 11 items and splashing out a total of £540.44. Bingo Braxton bought just 7 items, which cost him a total of £787.06. All the money from today's challenge will go to the dealer's chosen charities. So let's find out who is today's Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is champion.
Hello, hello.
Hi, Mr. Lewis, how are you?
I'm very well, you?
Yeah, very good, very good.
What news?
So I bought that cheap table for about £25 and the pennies.
Yes.
And I made a penny table.
Oh, you did do that?
And I took it to a pub that had a penny bar.
Oh, well done.
You had that funny sort of washstandy thing.
I was in Chesterfield, and a lady popped out with a little frilly hat and said, "Oh, we're looking for things for the shop. If ever you've got anything, just come and see me." I thought, hello. Turned up a bit later and got a really good profit out of that. You were much braver than me at the auction.
I don't know how well I did, though. Shall we find out?
3, 2, 1. Ding.
No! 36
James!
I'd love to buy a glass of wine, but I think you'll have to pay for it.
Come on.
So James Lewis reigns victorious after Bingo Braxton made a loss of £112.80 on the compass, having discovered that Officer Flood wasn't quite the prestigious fellow he was hoping for.
How many campaigns was he involved in?
He wasn't.
Right.
The good news is he was in the military for all these years. The bad news is he didn't get any honours and awards or anything because he was in the UK all the time.
Dear, oh dear, I should have done better. I viewed the sale, I enjoyed the sale. That was James rushing around like a headless chicken, buying things, but my goodness, can he sell the goods?
Well, the old Del Boy phrase, he who dares wins, really isn't the case here, because on the auction day, James was a lot braver than me.